Ashes of the Dam just served up one of the most controversial and dramatic Easter egg hunts in the 18-year history of zombies. In a twist no one saw coming, zombies' largest creator and golden child, Mr. Raffle Waffles, just cheated his way to the worldwide first completion of the main quest Easter egg. Yet, in an even greater twist, none of it was his fault. A fiery debate has engulfed the community following these events, creating further tension amongst the fanbase that is anything but stable at this current point in time. However, to understand this community-shattering story, we have to rewind back to the very start. In the 31 hours prior to the Easter egg hunt going live, the New Zealand trick had allowed pretty much anyone to experience Ashes in its full glory. And as the hours ticked closer to the hunt's official start time, it became clear that the initial reaction to the game was far from overwhelmingly positive. Frustrations arose from the fact that Black Ops 7 Zombies simply did not feel like a new game, and instead, nothing more than a 6th DLC for Black Ops 6. These complaints had actually been raised to Treyarch many months before, with even Milo sharing his skepticism and concerns about the feel of Black Ops 7 in an interview with myself earlier in this year.
If it feels identical, if it feels like a BO7 map could have been in BO6, that is going to be very problematic for the game in my opinion.
The lack of real innovation had already soured the taste of a new release before the Easter egg even went live. But this wasn't just a vocal minority complaining. Low view counts and questionable player numbers reflected the apathetic feeling of the world of gaming towards Black Ops 7. Tension was high, and anger was bubbling under the surface as 10 a.m. Pacific rolled around and the Easter egg launched. But everyone was blissfully unaware of the events that would unfold down the line. Despite the gigantic size of the map, it took Easter egg hunters just 27 minutes to discover their first batch of major clues. A mirror in Ashwood's town hurt Noah as he got near it, while also giving him PTSD flashbacks to the mirror his team became stuck on during the Tomb boss fight in Black Ops 6. In these early stages, teams also found the robot Klaus trapped in the Ashwood jail, and players immediately began their search for a key, or a password, or a keycard that could free him. But efforts centered around Tessie and the Whiz-T perk, as Treyarch are well known for focusing Easter eggs around newly introduced features, with Old Tessie being Ash's flagship feature and an evolution of the transit bus from Black Ops 2. Around 38 minutes into the hunt, players' suspicions about where to look were proven right, when About 6 Penguins and his team found a freezer key in the diner and used it to open up a cupboard, allowing them to pick up an abomination carcass that could be attached to Tessie. This was the second upgrade that could be applied to Tessie, after the Pack-a-Punch machine was already on the exhaust. Over the next hour or so, the Ashes hunt started to define itself as a part-finding extravaganza, with a giant list of necessary parts being viewable in the HUD. Treyarch's emphasis on part collection and non-linear progression in recent times has added lots of confusion to Easter egg hunts. The distraction of side Easter eggs in Terminus has somewhat scarred players, with teams now weary of falling down a rabbit hole of side quests that take time away from the main hunt. Mr. Dalek JD would be the first to fall victim to a side quest distraction, although this one was admittedly very cool and well worth the distraction.
What is going on right now?
That skill was funny.
Wait, what? Where am I?
Oh. The exploration of Dempsey's backstory in this side quest felt very special, and the reactions of players to this speaks volumes to how others appreciate lore playing a more present role here, after it had been dreadfully executed by Treyarch in Black Ops 6. For those with subtitles on, the name Vaetherion appeared here as well, a name that would become extremely important for players later on. As the hunt time reached an hour, reports flooded in about an Uber Klaus in spawn, as teams reached the round requirement for him to appear from a container in Janus Plaza. A stabilizer chip dropped from killing him, and teams rushed back to the prison cell to free Klaus. But when they inserted the chip to the door, it didn't open, and instead a very familiar and traumatic message appeared for players. Update requires restart. Teams began to try everything to free Klaus, throwing psych grenades, stun grenades, and shooting dead wire weapons, as these are all common tropes in Treyarch's Easter eggs when the community needs to power something on. It would take 40 minutes for Klaus to eventually be freed, with the community realizing that multiple stuns had to be thrown to get him out.
That would make sense. I have got force.
Oh, he's stunned. Wait, Klaus is actually stunned.
Really?
Yes, it worked. It worked. Dude, I can't believe that idea actually worked.
Klaus had been evolved heavily from his existence in Black Ops 6, as he now had proper functionality. He could be controlled by the players, and he felt like a new and useful mechanic. The freeing of Klaus helped to accelerate the hunt massively, and just over 20 minutes later, Codename Pizza got his hands on, or rather in, the Wonder Weapon for the first time.
Oh, dude, the Wonder Weapon now! Bro.
Okay, we're on Last Zombie. Don't kill
Bro,
anymore.
look at
Don't
me.
kill
Look,
anymore.
look at
Yo,
me.
come downstairs. Come downstairs.
Bro. I got a freaking Wonder Weapon,
I can't
dude.
get in. This is. Are y'all locked in there?
Bro, I've got the Wonder Weapon now.
Gamer subs. Black Friday deal. The best code on the entire website is code Evan. Use code Evan. Get your powder. I really don't think it's hyperbolic to say that this is one of the coolest Wonder Weapon designs of all time, with Mr. Raffle Waffle's reaction to the Wonder Weapon speaking for itself.
Do you want to go try shooting that purple pod that was like right next to us with the gauntlet?
Yeah. Oh, the gauntlet. Okay, I'm hearing whispering now.
Damn, this weapon is sick. It's so cool.
In an instant, this has become one of Zombie's greatest Wonder Weapons, with even the most Dorito and Mountain Dude angry parts of the community overwhelmingly praising Treyarch for their creation. This Freddy Scarecrow glove doesn't only deal heaps of damage, but it also overheals the player using this. On top of this, hunters would come to learn that the Gauntlet's abilities were necessary for almost every step in the Easter egg, and I love when the devs really make it feel like our powers are properly utilized. However, while this gigantic W was unfolding, the start of an even more gigantic controversy began to, at this point, bubble under the surface. Kingman acquired a mysterious white unnamed powder, with the lore pointing us towards this likely being gamer subs bought with code Evan at checkout. Kingman was onto something big here. Noticing the chem lab in the Cosmodrome now had enough ingredients that mysterious symbols appeared on the wall. Kingman immediately recognized these symbols from a similar puzzle on Buried in Black Ops 2, and was quickly able to decipher the writing and seemingly progress through these steps with ease. This was not the case for everyone, however. Mr. Raffle Waffles had also immediately recognized the code and deciphered it.
Oh, I put the powder down. What? Oh, cinema. I mean, not the Hitler comment, but what's on the wall is cinema.
But his inputs returned a negative reaction, and the step just didn't progress. Noah J's team also had similar difficulties here, and this is where the first real roadblock in the hunt began. The community was overwhelmed with confusion here, as Kingman had progressed, but when other teams applied this same theory, it didn't work. Milo began to heavily brainstorm and theorycraft with chat, but this step was made more difficult by the fact that Treyarch added brute force protection, showing that they had learned from their mistakes in Black Ops 6. Only one combination of ingredients could be entered per round, and the combination was different in each game. After around an hour with no progress, Mr. Raffle Waffles and other teams began to develop the feeling that this step may be bugged in some way, with eventually Noah's team succumbing to this theory by resetting their game to try again, while Milo issued a plea to Treyarch. The questions around whether this step was bugged had hidden something absolutely insane developing in plain sight. You see, as Milo started cooking up the potion, he had accidentally entered God mode at around the 2-hour and 20-minute mark into the hunt. At first, they theorized the lab was just a no-hit zone for the person cooking the potion, but then things got weird.
See if the zombie attacks you now.
Like that.
Well,
Is that? I don't understand if this is a step or if this is a bug. I actually can't tell.
You still invincible?
yeah, I
Yeah.
would assume that's a bug. So you might just be.
Well, if we
really good.
get a chance to go to the next round, just see if any of them like
Yeah, I'm ready for next.
go all.
Zombies had stopped pathing to Milo, and any stragglers that he tried to block simply refused to attack or deal damage to him. And in an incredibly strange role reversal moment, the man who made a career from being chased by zombies was now having to chase them himself. But things would get even weirder from here. With no success on the potion step, Milo began to explore the map for clues, and around 2 hours into the hunt, found himself in a 1v1 against a Zursa bear zombie as a part of a side Easter egg.
I don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of.
What? What the what? Okay, well, I don't have God mode anymore.
Milo very quickly discovered here that he seemingly no longer had God mode, with the bear both targeting and dealing damage to him. However, when Milo returned from the forest, it became apparent that something was still not right with his game. But with the Easter egg still being in its infancy and the more pressing matter of a possibly bugged potion step to be solved, they pressed on. While everyone else was struggling, Kingman was trying to progress the hunt himself. He had completed a short lockdown step in the lab that then revealed several anomalies around the map, and that pyramid-looking thing from the mirror now in Rabbit Alley. However, as so few had progressed, he was almost leading the hunt solo here, and therefore no progress was made for a significant period of time. 2 hours later, and Kingman finally made a breakthrough after he was led to a boat in the shipyard and he pulled a green key from this spot.
The clock just made a noise.
Yeah. Wait, key.
Not but key. That's gonna be it.
Go! Oh my god.
Please help me. The clock just made a noise.
These keys were used to break one of the chains on the pyramid structure in Rabbit Alley, but 2 chains still remained. Once they realized the ways these keys were found, progress was pretty quick, and just 30 minutes later, Kingman had all 3 keys required to unlock the pyramid. And just shy of the 5-hour mark into the hunt, something incredible was uncovered for the first time. While Kingman was progressing, Mr. Waffles was finally breaking through in chemistry class, and the mystery behind the step was cleared up with a discovery in the farm.
Bro, oh my god!
Activating.
Oh my god. Right, Finn, Nick, shout out to you, whoever said that. I'm a hot guy. Thank
Wait.
you. You are a genius.
The step was in fact not bugged in the way people thought, and instead, Kingman had just experienced a rather large slice of fortune. The potion had 5 possible ingredients in-game, but only 3 were actually needed for the recipe. At the time of Kingman's completion of the potion step, no one in the public eye had found the ankle bones part, and neither had Kingman. However, Kingman's recipe luckily did not require this part and therefore was able to progress, while others were unaware that the ankle bones would be needed and therefore were trying to initially force their way through the step based purely off of the fact that Kingman had done it without the bones. The discovery of the bones allowed many teams to catch up to where Kingman and a select few others were at this point, and now the full force of the community was able to resume moving the hunt forward. It's worth noting here, however, that Milo's God mode situation still remained, which is somewhat relevant as it meant he had an easier time hunting and retrieving the keys from the foggy areas, as nothing tried to attack him. The effects this had on the grand scheme of things at the time was minimal, as the keys were far from a challenging item to retrieve, and the effect of his accidental superpower would prove to be much more controversial in the future. The midway cutscene was a super nice touch, with great visuals and nice voice acting, proving to be the polar opposite to some AI-affected disaster of cutscenes found in some areas of Black Ops 6. The entity gave players the final old Tessie upgrade, a Wonderwaff turret on the top, and if you've ever seen Back to the Future, it's pretty obvious what had to happen next. And that worked, and it stopped the clock.
Wait, what's happening?
Wait.
No, it's visual, never mind.
No, it's.
Is that just a visual?
No,
Is the clock stopped though? Am I crazy? Did the clock not stop?
Yeah, that done something.
I knew it! Time froze and lightning of different colors appeared, but time was catching up to Kingman as his round count was extremely high, and with difficulty scaling present in Black Ops 7, it would eventually reach a point of becoming unsustainable to continue. Teams across the community would remain stuck on this step trying to figure out what to do with the clock, but after about 40 minutes, Clan Elysium from Destiny Infamy had a breakthrough. Oh, what is this? Is this a side Easter egg?
If it is, we haven't seen it from anybody else. Could be, but
what is this? Close to 6 hours into the hunt, and Elysium was able to figure out that by shooting spinning satellites with purple necrosis, it stopped them in place, added smoke to the rocket, and put wisps in the chair of the terminals with rotating numbers. By looking at the Pigpen cipher terminal to the side of the other terminals, they were able to decode a word: rocket. weapon, etc. It was different per game, but using a pigpen cipher and then using an A to Z cipher on each monitor, Elysium was able to do something even more insane.
Did Elysium come out? Whoa! Did they just come out of the shadows?
Whoa!
He just takes off the glasses so casually. Bro, what is that? Elysium.
At this point in the hunt, I think it's important to address the elephant in the room. There is a large amount of nostalgia callbacks in Ashes of the Damned. The evolution of Transit, the return of Farm, the return of Ascension / the launch multiplayer map from Black Ops 1. And that's before we discuss the little callbacks like Klaus being reminiscent of the Civil Protector from Shadows of Evil. Treyarch have faced serious criticism in recent times around these so-called nostalgia baiting, especially with half-baked references to Origins and the Tomb and the return of the OG crew in the first place. While the nostalgia is pretty well executed in Ashes of the Damned, not everyone was happy about it, which only adds to the narrative of Black Ops 7 not feeling like a new game and instead relying on successes of the past to spark interest, rather than be an evolution of the zombies concept. As we pass 6.5 hours on the hunt timer, Codename Pizza's team made a big breakthrough for both themselves and the community.
We had any of the visual changes.
Oh, clock worked. Clock worked.
Clock worked.
Clock worked. Lightning strike
Yes.
ends in...
Oh, okay.
Oh, it froze the lightning strikes in time. It froze the lightning strikes.
Yes. It worked.
Look around for what to do.
The team of Noah J, Chopper, Codename Pizza, and Freckleston were able to freeze the lightning in place near the diner, definitely proving to be one of the coolest looking steps. But the lightning came with a catch. You only had 1 minute to try any form of puzzle solving with it. Then it vanished for 2 rounds at a time. And the result of this was that teams would struggle for a while here until Mr. Rafflewaffles finally showcased some progress to the community.
They're trying to get the car started.
Maybe.
He's alive.
Wait. Wait.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. At this point, the Easter egg was approaching the longest in modern zombies history, soon to be eclipsing Reckoning, which was 8 hours and 17 minutes. While it would not develop into a multi-day hunt like we saw over a decade earlier in Black Ops 3, this race still had many hours and much more controversy to go. With this info of using Klaus to stomp the mechanic away, other teams were able to take note of that, and Elysium were actually the first to clear this step too.
Okay, that's fine. Just keep him there. Just keep him there, maybe. Where is it? So, Cal, do you have the mechanic?
Yes, he's
Okay. Just keep them there. Keep them there to the top.
we did it.
Oh my god, we did it! Yes! My god.
You had to stab the register near the diner worker, run into the semi-truck near the trucker, and have Klaus stomp the car for all of these zombies to rise up. And by simply walking them into the lightning that matched their eye color, the frozen lightning was gone. As Ashes broke the hunt time record, many teams were trying to progress with the deceased family members in the farm, but no one could figure it out. That was until Mr. Rafflewaffles started to look at the ground symbols carved in and noticed Roman numerals that matched the time on the clock behind the family. He stood on the matching one, and all of a sudden, this happened.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Yeah, whoa. His head.
What? Whoa!
Shoot it now.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh my god! Oh!
Here we go. So stand on the 9. He turns to you.
This was one of the better surprise moments, but it would lead to a pretty odd next step, as players found relics all around the barn and the farmhouse to pick up, and by placing them in the ground yard, a whole lockdown sequence began to defend the farm. Doing all of this made the wisps disappear, and just like that, Mr. Rafflewaffles was in the lead. But you will notice again, no zombies were coming near him. It's around this point in the hunt that the drama and tension really stepped up. Several top teams now found themselves at a similar late stage in the hunt. Milo's team, Noah's team, Elysium, and the world's first team from the Reckoning hunt were all having one last push towards discovering how to reach the final boss. Milo and Noah's team, around similar points in time, noticed a wisp on the dock of the cabin, and by interacting with it, the projector screen began working. What to do with this was up in the air. That was until Codename Pizza discovered a film reel in the boathouse that was brand new.
There's a movie in the boathouse in the
Whoa,
roof.
there
I
is.
don't know how to get it
That's a
up.
film reel.
It is film for each of them. Bring the film back. grab the film from each location, bring it back to the projector. That's got to be what it is.
By shooting the necrosis normal shot, these reels would activate, but they would also jump scare you if you were shooting in the wrong order.
Film reel in ceiling rafters of the shed? You talking about this? Is that a film reel? Oh, that is a jump scare. Okay, well. That's terrifying.
After a little time, they progressed and the box upstairs opened up to reveal a wisp. Somehow, the thought was to bring Klaus there, and it worked, as Klaus grabbed the detonator and a beer and sat out by the deck with something we had been working towards for well over 9 hours.
Final boss!
Let's go. Here we go, chat.
Guys, lock in. Here we go.
Oh, baby. I am so scared.
This has been such a build.
This would not begin the boss fight immediately, as everyone was collectively teased at looking at the pyramid expecting it to open. But instead, it was an all-out race using old Tessie to collect wisps in each area around the map. If all were collected in time, it would teleport you to the final boss.
Whoa!
Oh.
We're in the pyramid.
What is that?
That's the boss.
We're about to find out. Oh my god!
Thing.
Vatharian? Okay. We're in the car?
We have the vehicle?
Okay, I'm driving.
Mr. Raffle Waffles and his team were the first team we saw enter the boss fight on around round 44, but Noah J's team was just a matter of seconds behind them, albeit on a slightly higher round. Watching two teams battle side by side for the first Easter egg completion made for an incredible viewing experience, as initially it felt like the fight could really swing either way. However, as the long fight progressed, it became clear the effect of Milo's glitched game was benefiting him greatly. In this boss fight, he was far from completely invulnerable, as the effects of the boss's laser attack, missile barrage, and assault on Tessie were able to damage him and at times almost kill him. But the targeting he faced from enemies was significantly reduced compared to everyone else in his squad and compared to what Noah's team was facing. Because of this glitch state, Milo's team was able to pull ahead marginally in terms of damage. However, as we were watching the fight, it became clear that the result of this race would not be determined by who could damage the boss the fastest, but instead, who could survive the longest. Then, after a staggering 9 hours and 48 minutes of straight Easter egg hunting, a pivotal moment shocked us all.
Did they go down?
Evan.
And Freck
goes down.
With the death of Noah's team, it became clear Milo's team would finish the egg first, if they were able to stay alive. But there was a twist. With the boss on fractional amounts of health and 10 hours and 10 minutes into the hunt, all 3 of Milo's teammates found themselves down. Whereas these would normally prove to be a significant point of tension with a clutch required, it instead proved to be the match that ignited an absolute bonfire of controversy. Even with all 3 teammates down, nothing ran towards him, and the boss did not target him with any attacks, making it blindingly obvious to the entire community just how significant this glitch had become, with even Milo himself acknowledging this with an incredibly muted reaction to a huge moment in Black Ops 7. And this is where the drama would explode. Without hesitation, Milo disqualified himself and his team from the race. He even declared Treyarch should not unlock the curse mode until a second team completed it legitimately, and actively asked Treyarch to publicly discredit his run.
I would love for Treyarch to say, our team completed it with a bug in the match, and the official crown of first goes to Team 2. That's what I would like Treyarch to do.
However, for some community members, this wasn't enough. Treyarch would announce during Milo's run that the bug had been identified and patched, but this did little to save Milo from a barrage of negative criticism. Many seemed to blame him for allowing this to happen, recognizing the glitch wasn't his fault, but saying he should have quit the game after noticing it. Where the situation becomes messy is the fact that there is absolutely no official race or leaderboard that tracks world's first Easter egg completions. But despite this, The community clearly loves the race concept. Cheating controversy is far from unprecedented in the history of Easter egg hunts, but it has always been intentional, either through leaked steps or purposeful glitching. Some have referenced the Garad Kurovi world's first following the Milo situation, where the community universally discredited creator Silas after his team abused an exploit with a gobblegum that slowed zombies to a walk permanently. The situation here is much different, with the state that Milo found himself in being no fault of his own, and therefore I personally feel it's unrealistic and unfair to arbitrarily decide that he should have quit the game, as ultimately it's more Milo's fame and following here that's causing the controversy rather than the actions. Had Milo just been your average Joe Zombies player who completely accidentally glitched the game, I expect that he would not have been criticized to the same extent, with many people not having an issue with his completion despite the glitch. After being so cruelly wiped during their neck-and-neck race with Milo's team, the team of Noah J, Freckleston, Codename Pizza, and Chopper would race their way back to the boss and claim the true world's first race win. And the fact they still claim the win, despite having to fight all the way back to the boss, is a testament to how difficult this final encounter truly was. It's unfortunate that another Zombies Easter egg hunt has been left scarred by controversy, and I ask that those in the comments below discuss the situation respectfully, as at the end of the day, this is just a video game.